Hey guys. All right. Part two. So I did the 2 weeks with the regions, and they were giving me dream sequences, and we fought. And when I went to bed, we fought, and I argued and bitched because they were doing everything rotten. Just totally no compassion, no nothing. They just did their job, and that was it. Plus, they were trying to find out all this stuff which had nothing to do with the priestess. Found out later the two guys that were frozen, two regent priests that were frozen, put on ice. And what that is what they do is they pump a chemical in you. Like they stick you up, lay you on a bed, put an IV in your arm, and whoop, turn the thing, and your soul freezes. I don't know how long that lasts, but it basically puts you in a coma and they're gone. Then they did that, I think, because the priests had so many connections with the agency. The agency is like the CIA, and they have no fucking restrictions. No Overwatch, no nothing. You stay away from them guys, man. They could fucking kill you in a minute. And the region priest can kill you in a minute if you want to. They won't, because Christ, I'm with Christ. But, and what they do is they deal with people like me, and they deal with people like souls that are having problems here on earth that are in a body and they're all fucked up. The region priests come there, take the goddamn demon out, kill it, do your psychology, all that shit. That's what the region priests do. Okay. And Christ. But the region priests do it because they got skills. Now, something weird started happening to me, okay? The priestess at this time, she's still putting loogies in me. I got the goddamn loogies to come out of my subconscious. The regions closed up my subconscious and my heart, the connections. I pulled them out. The regions came and closed up my subconscious, and closed up my heart where the connections were coming in from the region priest. In my throat, the loogie would come in here from the priestess, or up my ass. Okay, your root chakra, or your throat chakra. The loogies would come in. I only got a piece of all the loogies in a day. And that night, totally different story. They kept bringing the priestess to me to trigger so I could release. What that means is she'd trigger all the loogies that are in my throat, trigger all the loogies coming up, and the priest would go in and try to find out the connections and where they were, and I would release the loogies. And that drove me fucking nuts because I don't ever want to see her again, but they made me do it almost every other day. Anyway, 3 times I had these episodes where my own soul would, for some reason, I don't know if the region priest did this or if this was just natural, where my own soul would bring up loogies. Every 2 or 3 days, I get a whole bunch of loogies inside me that were like dormant and dead, but they were brought forward. And I'd be laying there talking to the priest, and then all of a sudden, I just started puking up loogies. And it was like my soul was rejecting these things. And the priest came back and said, "These are loogies from your past." And I go, "Oh, okay." So what happens is the priest has put so many loogies in me that they went into the illusion somewhere where no one could see them. But as I started pushing out the loogies, they all started coming back in. So I got thousands of loogies out here in my soul in the illusion somewhere, but they're all connected to me. As I started pushing them out of my soul, they all started coming back. One night it was 100, 83 loogies that came out my goddamn throat and out my crown. And they were all dormant and dead. The more I pushed them out, I noticed they were all fresh and squishy. But as I got to the later parts, they were covered in like a tarnish. Like what's that word? They're like tarnish from old age. And they're old loogies from years ago. 3 times I did that. So I know I was getting onto it, getting close to something. Then Christy left. A new Christ came. And he's taking over now. And what he does, he's taking over where Christy left off. Because I guess Christy couldn't deal with me, the priest, and other shit. He couldn't deal with it anymore. He was good at it, but this is the Jesus Christ, the new one I'm working with. So far, A+, no problems with him. He got me a room by myself, that I could be in by myself, and he wants me. Yesterday, he got the room. He rented it out in the building or something, and that's where I'm gonna sleep. I don't really like the area. It's on the beach full of yuppie kids, but whatever. I can't complain. And they want to see me. The room I have right now, before, you can't see me in it because the tiles that make up the room in St. Illusion, Astro World, has tiles where it cuts down the noise, the frequencies of other people. It blocks most of that, and the souls can't see in. And it costs like a lot of money. They make like $1,800 to make this little tiny room, like the one I'm living in here. But all it is a bathroom, a bed, and limited. There's no stove. There's none of that shit. It's just for me to sleep in and have some privacy. I hope you know what that means. Because in St. Lucian, there's no fucking privacy unless you have these special tiles. All right, so they don't want me in there because they can't see. Now I know the reason why for what happened last night. So this Christ got me a room. I'm getting ready to go to bed. He trucks me over there and says, "This is your room. You just sleep here. That's all you got to do. Just sleep here. When you go to bed at night, sleep. Go to bed, dream, do whatever you want." What that means is, when I go to sleep here on Earth, my soul goes to bed there. It's combined. My soul there and here check off into the illusion. As soon as I go to sleep, I go, or I don't, one or the other. Christ watches from there so he can see me. If anything happens, anybody comes and tries to stab me or something, or bash my head in with a baseball bat, he can watch and see me. So, this is deep, man. I go to bed, I lay down in my bed. In the spirit world, my soul lays down in the new apartment on the bed, and we have it out, we talk and whatever, until I fall asleep, and then I'm gone. And when I wake up, my soul comes back to the bed, and I wake up here. Usually, I'm still in St. Lucian, talking to everybody, find out what the hell's going on. So last night, I went to bed, fell asleep. Really short sleep. Really, like 15 minutes, I fell asleep. As soon as I fall asleep, this is the dream, this is the experience. I fall asleep, and in the dream, I'm hovering over dirt, like a desert, and you have the tumbleweeds and cactus. Not yeah, maybe some tumbleweeds, but it's mostly dirt, sagebrush, stuff like that. And I come down to this hole inside of a little cliff, like a riverbank or something. And I go in the hole and I go down a little bit, and all of a sudden, I look down the hole, and you can walk. You stand upright, and there's a long tunnel. And on the left-hand side are lights strung up down the tunnel. So I start walking down the tunnel, and I go for like a long time, and I'm getting more scared as I go down the tunnel. And also I can see where the lights end, and they sort of go to the left, and there's like a room back there, something back there. So I walk up to it, and I'm getting kind of scared, and I feel like I feel like I'm a cop investigating one of those where they run drugs underneath the border. That's what I feel like I'm doing. I'm a cop exploring this drug running tunnel underneath the border. And little light bulbs are all strung up, and they're on. So there's lots of light. And I get to the end, and I look to the left, and there's another tunnel running far, far, far to the left. You do a little kitty corner, and the tunnel continues. So I go around the kitty corner, and I don't go left. I look down that tunnel, and there's more lights going off in the distance. So I'm like, I want to go that way. So I start walking, but I'm nervous. I'm getting nervous because whoever's in the left tunnel, going left tunnel, can come up behind me, and guys can come up in front of me. So I'll be screwed in this tunnel, right? That's what I'm thinking, worst case scenario. So I'm going real slow and listening. I'm walking real slow and I'm listening. It's kind of exciting. And all of a sudden, coming up the tunnel, I just came up from the border, underneath the border. I can feel the priestess coming. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Priestess is coming. I can feel her. She's coming up the tunnel. And I'm going, what the fuck is she coming up? A cocaine running fucking drugs and mules, and what the fuck does she got to do with this? Right? And I'm confused. And I turn around and I start going back to, I have to go around the kitty corner. I go around that kitty corner and I start going back towards the tunnel, into the tunnel. All of a sudden, just as I start to go into the tunnel, the priestess, I could feel her coming up. I couldn't hear her. I could just feel her coming up the tunnel. All of a sudden, the feeling of the priestess went away instantly, and it was replaced by 20 cops, 20 drug enforcement agency cops, and they're all running up this tunnel with their guns. And I look down the tunnel, and all I see is like 10 flashlights with guns and HKs all pointing at me. And I'm like, holy fuck! And I start freaking out. Now, this is when it gets really weird. I start freaking out, and I can't. And I just panic attacked, just instantly. I panicked. And I woke up instantly, and the dream wouldn't go away. Instantly, I knew the dream wasn't going away. And I'm still here, and I'm like, fuck, fuck, fuck. And all of a sudden, I pushed it out. I pushed myself out. Like, I woke up in my bed, conscious. I couldn't get out of the dream. And the cops were coming. Freeze, motherfucker, freeze, freeze. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I, boom, pulled myself out of the dream. Literally, my soul hands pushed me out of the dream. I'm screaming for Christ, Jesus Christ. Always ask for Christ or Jesus Christ. Never ask for Jesus. That's the worst thing you could do. So I'm like, Christ help, 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 help. I'm finally looking down at the tunnel, and the cops are coming, and they slowly disappeared. The cops disappeared. It's just the tunnel now. So I'm floating above the fucking tunnel, looking at the tunnel. And I go, fuck, man, I just had one hell of a dream. I couldn't get up. My soul, my innocence, he's telling Christ what happened, that I couldn't get out of the dream. Rich couldn't get out of the dream. Rich couldn't get out of the dream. My innocence in my heart. It's a different person being born. Christ talks to him to find out about me. Christ talks to my innocence to find out about me and the physical reality. So he's explaining to Christ what the hell just happened. Christ says, okay, I want to go in the dream and I want to see. He tells me, go back into the tunnel. He tells me consciously and my soul consciously to go back in the tunnel. So I've calmed down enough. I'm trying. So I start going back down the tunnel. I'm standing in the tunnel with the lights on the left-hand side. I'm in this tunnel. And I go, it's a fucking drug trafficking ring and child trafficking. Fucking people, whatever that. People trafficking under the border. And it's all cocaine and shit. Christ's like, okay. So next thing I know, Christ is standing there beside me. So Christ comes down to my soul and my body, goes into my head to go into the dream. So me and him are now in the dream I had. And I'm in this tunnel. And I take him to the end. I take him to the kitty corner. I said, I went straight. I didn't take a left. I went straight. And I only got a few feet before I freaked the fuck out because the priestess was coming out the tunnel. And the priestess then turned into the police. And I was the bad guy. But when I was in the tunnel, I was the police investigating the tunnel. But the police were coming to get me. But a minute before the police came, it was the priestess. I go, I don't know what the fuck's going on, man. You got to figure this shit out. So, Chris goes, so you went this way? You were headed this way? And I go, yeah, headed north or south. Whatever the hell. I was going that way. As I passed the kitty corner, I didn't take a left. I went that way. Straight ahead. More lights, long tunnel. And so he goes, come on, let's go. Let's check it out. I go, I ain't fucking going down there. I'm getting the hell out of here. And he goes, no, you stay right here. I'm going to go down the tunnel. So Chris goes down the tunnel. Takes him like 5 minutes. And he's walking. He's checking out everything. And he goes, all of a sudden I hear him go, Jesus Christ. And I go, what? What do you see? What's down? He goes, I'm at the end of the tunnel. And I go, yeah. And he goes, well, I came out the tunnel and guess where I am? And I go, where? I'm in an apartment building. Like an office building. Yeah, office building. He goes, I'm in an office. In a building. Like an office building. But there's no one in it. There's no furniture. There's no nothing. And I'm going, like a proper office building? He going, yeah. I'm in an office building. And I'm like, holy fuck, dude. What is that? How? What? What the fuck? He goes, I don't know yet. He goes, just hang on. So he looks around the office. And he comes back down the tunnel. He comes back to me. He goes, I'm confused. He goes, I'm confused. I gotta go down. He's going, I'm gonna go left down this tunnel. I go, okay, I'm standing right here at the kitty corner, okay? So like I got 3 ways to make a run if anything fucking weird happens. And so he goes, okay. So he goes down that tunnel. As he's walking down the tunnel, he's like halfway or something, a quarter of the way down this tunnel to the left. All of a sudden he goes, Jesus Christ. Like that, he just freaks out. He goes, Jesus Christ. And he goes, who are you? Who are you? Like that. And he goes, and the guy don't say nothing. There's a guy coming down the tunnel to face him. He goes, who are you? And he goes, he doesn't say anything. He goes, he ain't talking. I go, well, who is it? He goes, it's contusion. I'm going, what? And he goes, it's contusion. So he goes, take my hand. He goes, contusion, take my hand like this. And contusion reaches out, grabs his hand. And as they're walking back towards me, contusion disappears. Christ tells me that. Contusion, he just disappeared. As soon as he took my hand, he disappeared. So Christ keeps on going to find out what the hell's at the end of this tunnel. And I guess he gets to the end of the tunnel, and there's a room there, just like the office building, the office room. He finds another room. And this one, he says it looks like a apartment building, an apartment in a building up high. And he went in, he looked around, there's a bed, there's a chair, there's a TV, there's, apartment things like you have in your apartment. But it's a little apartment, not a big one. He looks at the window and he goes, I'm looking out the window and you won't believe what I'm seeing. I'm going, what? And he goes, it's a city. Some city. And I go, well, keep your head, man. Don't lose it. I'm waiting to get the fuck out of here. You're getting me freaked out. Yeah, I'm getting freaked out. And he goes, okay. So he goes, he comes running down the tunnel. He grabs me. We start backing out the way we came in. We get out the tunnel. As soon as I get out the tunnel with him, I'm looking down at the tunnel hole in this desert of fucking sagebrush. So I know I'm still on the dream. He goes, just follow me, we're gonna leave. And so all of a sudden the tunnel goes away. The dream, sorta, it goes away, and I'm back with the regents. The regents have already come. Other Christs have already come. Other people have already come. Because Christ was calling them the whole time he was down there. And he goes, Rich, he goes, hold on, I gotta tag this. So somehow Christ said he had to tag this. So he tagged it, whatever the fuck that means. And I know what it means, and I don't know how he did it. But anyway, he went over and talked to the regents. Blah, 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 blah. And they're going, oh, sounds like this, it sounds like that, it sounds like this, sounds like that. And they're all having their big discussion. The other Christs and the regents. And I'm going, fucking fuck. So I'm consciously awake, laying in my bed going, fuck guys, help me out. And this Christ comes back to me, he says, okay, this is what's going on. You know how you have all them loogies going in you? I go, yeah. Well, he goes, when you were in the dream, when you went into the dream illusion, you went into the loogy, inside a loogy, which is going in the back of your head. The loogy goes into your brain where you dreamt. In the dream, you saw a tunnel of cocaine and drugs and police and the priestess. Well, the priestess, we can't verify yet, but she probably put it there. The loogie. Somehow, a long time ago, the priestess put this loogie inside your brain, found the rooms with, he goes, from what we're seeing, she was with contusion. I ain't done yet. That's why I saw contusion coming out, but he wasn't coming out. He wasn't there. It was a representation of him. You felt the representation of the priestess coming up. The priestess consciously travels through the loogies in her consciousness. Well, this loogie was in you for a long time, and it finally came to the forefront. And I go, I think my subconscious made me come into this loogie and dream it. And that's what I felt. He goes, you're probably right. Just to let you know it was there. And this is a big fucking deal. Because what I experienced and what's in there, every little item is a representation of what she was doing inside your head with the loogies. Why she was there, what she wanted, drugs. I wasn't a fucking dealer or anything, so I don't know. More coming. He goes, this has been in you for a long time. And the 2 rooms. But he goes, right now we got to focus on getting you out. So Christ goes in with the Regent Priest. The Regent Priest, they got to take this thing out of me without destroying my fucking brain. So they go in, it's in the back of my neck, and it comes in up into my head. They go in there with Christ. I'm staying out. I don't want to see this shit. They go in there, and the Regent Priest does what he does in both the rooms. They come back out the tunnel, the Loogy, and out. Then they go over there and have their discussion of what they're going to do. And my kids are going, is Rich gonna die? Is Rich okay? Is Rich... so sweet. And I can't remember what happened next. So, all these people there, all these people were there. Even friends and relatives and stuff. No one goes in, but Christ goes in. He goes and tries to separate the room from the Loogy. He's in the Loogy and he's like this, putting a wall up, like a skin wall. He's making a skin wall, and he's trying to separate the hole in the tunnel that leads to this room, like a doorway. But he's trying to seal up the doorway. And I could hear Christ talking. I could see what Christ is doing. Christ is like making a fucking wall of skin and separating it from the door, the tunnel. When that's supposedly, I guess, when that's done, they can remove the Loogy. And then they got to go do the other room because this Loogy is connected to 2 rooms in my fucking head. Christ he goes, I don't think this is gonna work. He goes, we gotta take. He goes, I'm getting the feeling. Take the rooms with the Loogy. That'll be best. That's the way to go. And we take it down. We don't take it through his brain. We take it down and out. And the Regent Priest goes, yep, we can do that with, what the fuck word did he use? God damn. Frequencies. He goes, we can remove it all with frequencies. And I'm like, and Christ goes, okay. So he goes, I'm coming out. So Christ comes back out. I can now see the Loogy coming in the back of my head. They've been in it for 10 fucking times or something. I can see the Loogy going in the back of my head. And I'm laying in my bed. It's fucking 4 a.m. I ain't slept yet. I went to bed at 12. So the Regent Priests, they don't actually, nobody touches the goddamn Loogy or the rooms or anything. They just put their hands over it and control the energy. Rise up in vibration, rise down in vibration, and push it a little bit. Once they get their vibration connected with the Loogy, the right vibration, and it moves with their vibration, they don't actually meat maul it in a word. They just push the energy. These priests, they're pushing it up and down. Then they started really slowly pushing it out of my head. As they pushed it out my head, my fucking nerve in my cheekbone and in my teeth, bam, bam. And I'm like, holy fuck. And I go, what? And I go, my cheekbone and my teeth are hurting. And I go, this thing's fucking connected some way to my nervous system and my cheekbone. And he's like going, okay, thank you. All that, whatever. And they just keep doing it. I'm like, fuck, Advil. Right? And my fucking teeth are going, moving as they're moving this thing out. So this goddamn Loogy is making my fucking teeth move, my cheekbone nerve, and my jaw nerve hurt. See that snaggle tooth right there? Yesterday, that was pretty much level with the other teeth. See that? It's gonna come out any minute. It fucking rose that much last night from my teeth hurting. Moving this fucking loogie out. You don't think soul has no effects in this world about your sickness and your health? Think again, man. You have no fucking idea. It's insane. Anyway, they finally move it down to like here, my chest area, and then they pull it out my side. And when I totally disconnect from it, and I gotta chant release, release, release. So I'm chanting release, release, release it, release it, release it. Give it to Jesus Christ. Give it to Christ. Give it to Christ. He takes it. He's a proper personality Christ, and so are the regents and everybody else here, and they're all taking it away. Then the pain starts going away. I get up and piss, have a cigarette. Speaking of which, I need another cigarette. Anyway, they pull it out. Christ comes back. I go on the internet. It's like 5 o'clock, 5:30. Sun's starting to come up. I didn't sleep. I just laid in bed and fucking did that. So I get up. I lay back down. As soon as I lay back down, more of the loogies, the dormant loogies, are coming forth from out of the ether or whatever the fuck, the illusions. Wherever they are, they're all coming back into me, and I start pulling them out of my crown, pulling them out of my root. Just loogies. And what it is it's like an octopus tentacle that goes up into you. But once it's in you, it goes flat. So it's flat against my chest, in my skins. So these things are in my ethereal skins, soul body. And there's fucking 20, 30, 40, 50 layers of skins that they're stuck in or outright inside me that the priestesses have put there. As I'm gonna go back a bit. When they were pulling out the two rooms, I'm looking at them, and they're little boxes on a loogie. And the loogie it's gotta be smaller than my fucking cigarette. So say this is a loogie going in. I'm inside dreaming, and there's a tunnel with lights in it for fucking cocaine smugglers in Mexico coming into the US. I did see the room way down there. I walked up to it, and I didn't see out the window. And it was at one point when Crazy saw what he saw, but I was in the tunnel. But the room, you get in the fucking room, and you're in an apartment building. You're in an office building, literally, a fucking office, and you can walk around, go look at the windows and look at the city outside. How does all that fucking work? Perception, illusion. Perception and illusion. But the main room attached to the loogie that Christ was trying to separate, when they pulled the loogie out and the two rooms were attached to it, they were this big. A little tiny fucker. Anyway, as they were pulling that out, I had a vision. And the vision was, I was looking at a girl in school, grade, in this reality. This is a vision I had of this reality. I was in grade 8. Grade 8. And it was the last time. And I knew this girl, she wouldn't probably go to my high school. So grade 7 or 8, She wasn't going to go to the same high school I was. So I'm thinking, fuck, she's beautiful. Fuck. I ain't going to give you her name. But anyway, I wanted to ask her out, but I didn't because there was no point. And I wish I fucking did, to tell you the truth. Anyway, I was looking at her. So I told Christ about this girl that I used to like when I was in public school. But we were all going to high school, and this would be the last time I'd see her. And I was in love with her. Well, almost totally. And she was just beautiful. But she wasn't one of uptight. Yeah, anyway, I told him that. And he goes, "What do you think that means?" And I go, "That's when the loogie was put in me." He goes, "Bingo. That's why you're having that vision." And I go, "Correct." So I fucking know this shit, but I don't even know it. So it's just instinct. And your soul's giving you answers. That fucking loogie from Priestess, put that fucking thing in me when I was in grade 8, 40 fucking years ago, 35 years ago. So I've had this goddamn thing from the Priestess in my head fucking 30 years, 35 years. She was fucking screwing Intrusion at the time. They were buddies or friends, which I don't fucking understand because I shot Intrusion when I shot the fucking colonel in the face. When I was Daniel Boone. Intrusion was part of the fucking clique that was going around killing people for their shit in the war of fucking Civil War. I don't know, one of them wars. I remember I was on the horse. He walked up. As soon as he looked away, I pulled out my gun, pointed. He looked at me, and I said something to him. I already made a video about this, and then I, boom, shot him right in the fucking face. And he deserved to die. Trust me, he deserved to die. This guy. The colonel, raped the priestess. Intrusion was the guy over there. I pulled out my bow and arrow. After I fired the gun, I didn't have time to fucking pour the powder in and the fucking and all that bullshit and put the fucking sparker in and all that. Or the bolt or the fucking lead shot. The lead bullet. I didn't have time to do all that shit. So I just grabbed my bow and arrow. Intrusion didn't he looking and fuck right in the fucking head. I grabbed another bow and arrow and put it in there and fucking the other guy, pop, hit him. Intrusion died then. He's still living in St. Lucia. Before I was fucking born, we were enemies, and he's still living in St. Lucia. In this life I'm born now, he's with the priestess in St. Lucia, going in my fucking head and fucking around with it with the priestess. That's what was revealed in this fucking whole night of going in the loogie in the tunnel. Do you understand? Now the fucking way cool thing is, my subconscious took me into the loogie. When I was in there, I was in a dream. The dream was I was in a cocaine fucking tunnel from Mexico to the States. That was the dream. Priestess was coming. Christ found Intrusion and the 2 rooms. You go into the room, you're going down the tunnel ends, and you're in a fucking what? An office apartment building, or a building, an office building. Inside my head. So the perception, just for an example, the perception you're seeing right now, look around right now. That's your perception of this physical, of this dimension. This physical for 3 or 4 dimension. All right? But it's a reality. But your soul can go past that. When I was in the Loogy, I was walking in the Loogy. My perception was seeing in the dream. I had a flashlight and I'm looking around. I'm walking and I come out in these rooms that look like the size of a Lego. As soon as your perception goes into them, your consciousness and your perception goes in, you're standing in a fucking proper office building floor. Look out the window and there's a fucking city. Now add some fucking extraterrestrials. But this is all your soul that's perceiving. It was showing my soul, my subconscious, was showing me the problem I've had for 30 fucking years with the priestess and Intrusion. They come in here and it all had to do with sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Which is an illusion. Let's go. She's a priestess. She knows this shit. Throw in the loogie, take Intrusion in there, and wait for Rich, make him do things in the conscious world. Cigarettes, beer, smoke pot. She invited her fucking friends into this loogie that she set up in my brain to get me in this fucking world to drink beer, to smoke drugs, and they sit back and enjoy it and get high. She would influence my thoughts to do the right thing. She was a good person, but she would do all this. And the whole fucking time in this reality, in my head, I was dealing with aliens, fucking extraterrestrials, and fucking UFOs, and no one fucking believed me in high school since fucking 4 years old, non-stop fucking aliens. They're not bad, they're just scary. Because my fucking brain don't know any better. And they don't look like fucking the Mona Lisa. All right? So you don't know what the fuck's going on, but this is what's going on. Now that I look back on it, I can see it fucking clearly. Well, pretty clearly. So I think the ETs were coming to me to wake me up. Priestess was in there almost, I don't know how much, I don't know nothing. But I'm out. That was what I felt. That's what Christ told me. She'd go in there with her perception. So, priestess would be in St. Lucian. They lay down. Her and her friend or Intrusion, and they both take the consciousness into the loogie, travel down the loogie, get to the room, and the room was set up like a little apartment where they sit there and smoke drugs, living through me consciously. When I'm a little kid growing up, I'm trying to do my shit in this world. But they knew I was going to be a teenager, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And the fucking priestess wanted all of it. And this And I fucking saved her from the bad guys when I was Daniel Boone in a life before that. After that. I was a Russian in my past life. And before that, I was Daniel Boone. And before that, I was a native guy. And the native guy I got my head blown off as a native guy in that past life, and I died at 1700. Well, I died, came back as Daniel Boone. All that shit with Daniel Boone went on, the fucking war and the fucking everything. And then I came back as a Russian. I lived till like I was 16, 17. Went back to St. Lucian. Born again as me. And the fucking Loogy is in me from the priestess in fucking Daniel Boone past life. And now I'm busting her ass and releasing all the crap that she did inside me and is doing to me today with the Loogies. She's still. And the love connections that I held on to, because me and her were in love when we were Daniel Boone, she's using that. Fuck, I don't understand any of it, man. It's hard to put it all in order sometimes. But I just want to share that with you because it's full of perceptions and aspects of fucking life and death and connections and how they work. So if you have anything of the same, get with Jesus Christ, because you ain't going to be able to do it by yourself. Christ got the regent priests. Christ got the regents, and the regents got more regents to deal with that one fucking loogie that was embedded in my brain. Fuck. What the fuck else is going on in that brain, man? You know, what's going on in your brain? It's a trip. It's a fucking trip, man. This is my experience. I don't give a fuck what you do. I mean, I'm telling you to do the right thing, but you can do whatever you want. And you will. If it happens, you'll have. When it happens, you'll be screaming for Christ. You can sit there and cock rock yourself and say all this bullshit. I'm about fuck Christ, fuck Christ, fuck Christ. You know what? when it goes down, you'll be laying in your bed going, Jesus Christ, I need help any fucking way you possibly can. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. I can sit here all day and talk about this cool shit, and this blows me away. I thought one wrong move and I'm fucking dead, man. Crazy. She opened up portholes in my fucking head. Whoop. She's on the other side. I'm lying in my bed, awake. Whoop. Porthole comes. Hi, Rich. How you doing? I'm just drinking wine here. How you doing? I see you. She's on the other side of St. Lucian in another fucking city, anywhere. But whoop. It's like looking at TV. It's like we're me and you talking on us, doing a live Zoom feed, live, talking to each other on a computer. But it's a portal in your head. Whoop. Hey man, how you doing? Hey man, what's going on? Fuck, you can't have that shit. Not in your fucking head. And that's why I'm at war with her. Saving my fucking life. Because I know what happens when a porthole pops up outside of yourself. And the fist comes through and punched me in the fucking eye, cut my fucking eyebrow open, cut my there, cut me here in my glasses. Blood, black eye for a fucking month. Couldn't sleep for 4 fucking days. All from a girl I liked. I never even talked to her in a dream. I got that video somewhere on this channel. Anyway, unbelievable. and I'm not having that fucking porthole open in my head. And the priestess is like butting fucking cigarettes in there. One breach into my brain and I'm dead. It's game over, man. Game over. Fuck. So this is what it's about. I'm sorry, I swear, for all you fucking rainbow lovers. But hey, you'll get real one day too. All right. Later, guys.